What's going on, guys? This is Mr. Horse here. Today we're going to go over a quick video on the 5 things that healers need to succeed in Mythic Plus. So we'll start off with the first one here. We're just going to do a quick little low editing guide. We're going to start with, what's the first one I got here? Click. C-L-I-Q-U-E. So click's really awesome. So what it does is it basically makes my left and right mouse button able to be key bound. You can do your middle mouse button, any mouse button you want. You can do shift left click mouse button. You can do shift right click. All sorts of stuff actually. You can do control. Any kind of key bind modifier will work for that. So that's great. What I really use it for any of my healers is I left click on the frame that I want with the most, like the spell that I use the most. So for example, on a shaman, I'm on Resto Shaman right now, I'm gonna left click and then it applies a Riptide. As you can see right here at the top right, and that's my little Riptide marker. So that lets me know that Riptide's on there, and then I just left click and then I get a Riptide. So I have right click bound, so we'll just go ahead and right click. And boom. Just like that. So you can do any of the abilities. So let's go ahead and see if you can. So for example, if you wanted to key bind, if you wanted to cancel this, you just delete the binding. You get a quick bind mode, and this is how I do it. You can do it in a different way, but maybe add binding. The only thing I've done, I've kept it super simple. I just click quick bind and then I go through my list, and then you click with the button that you're going to change. For example, I would left click this if I'm going to make this my left click option. So if I want to do like chain heals left click, I would left click this. If I want to right click, if I want it to be on my right click, then obviously you right click it. So, and just when you're finished, just make sure you hit end quick bind and then you're good to go. So this one's great. The main purpose of the click is to reduce the bloat on my like 1 2 3 4 5, you know, shift 1 2 3 4 5 type of scenario that I do. So like things that I use all the time like Riptide, I don't want to go up and have it set for like R or T or something when I can just put it on my mouse. It's super easy. And I don't have to use my left hand at all. I can just control it all with my mouse, so that's good. So that's the first one. The second one is LVUI, and you guys have heard about this one, obviously. I mean, maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but it's basically like a complete UI overhaul. That's how I got my map. My frames are different. They're down here. I'll show you all the stuff. So basically, the good part about LVUI is you can modify your frames however you want. So for Mythic Plus, I kind of made it to this, something kind of like this setup. I have my party frames along the left side here, as you can see, and then I have my raid frames drop down in the middle of in like a big cluster of everybody inside the raid down there towards the middle. So yeah, that's basically what I use to do all my party frames and the debuffs and buffs and all of that stuff. So that's what I use, LVUI. That is not an add-on that you can get on CurseForge. You have to go to their website to get that one. So that's LVUI. Just Google ALVUI, and then it'll come up. I tried .com and it messes you up, so you don't want to do that. Just type that in, and then you'll go to download. And then you have to open your folder for that, and you'll also have to manually update that as well by frequent downloads from the website. Probably like, honestly, I don't update it all the time. I just do like once a month. No big deal. Once, depending on if there's a huge patch or something, I'll obviously update it. But I'm kind of lenient with the way I update. I don't update that much, or as much as I should, but it really doesn't matter. So yeah, that's what I use for party frames, raid frames, all that good stuff. Some alternatives that you can use instead of LVUI are shadowed unit frames. I've heard some great success with that one. And then the popular one now is called Cell, Cell, or like the Dragon Ball Z boss or the Dragon Ball Z enemy guy, Cell. So same thing, just try those out. look into them if you are interested in that. And that was number 2. For number 3, we're gonna look at Omni CD. So Omni CD, let me see an example. Let me pull one up for you guys here. So let's just look at this really quick. Let's make sure I think my, whoop. Yep. All right, so as you can see, this is Omni CD. This is my frames. We just talked about how LVI was what I used. So my party frames look like this, and then Omni CD places all of their important cooldowns that I have listed on the left side of their party frame, as you can see. So for example, he won't have Chaos Nova, TR Therapy. The tank won't have Demon Spikes for 1 second. As you can see, he's got 0 charges. He's got 1 second left on that cooldown timer before he gets Demon Spikes back up. This is an example of why it's important to be able to see the cooldowns, because if you see your tank, he doesn't have anything. Right now he has a Sigil and he has Meta, right? So he's probably fine. If something were to go wrong, he can dig his way out of it, right? But as you can see, this poor Evoker, he's getting attacked pretty hard right here. He's actively using Scales right here, and then actively using Renewing Blaze. So the important part is that LVI is tracking all of this. Not LVI, Omni CD is tracking all of this. So you wouldn't be able to know this, or it would be a lot harder to tell this if you did not have this add-on. So that's why Omni CD is super important. You can modify what you want and what you do not want tracked, which is super nice. And just basically just go in game like normal. Open it up. Omni. You just do /Omni CD. And then we just kind of look around here. General visibility. I just have it set for dungeons. And then this is the spell editor, where, for example, if I want to see an abomination limb on a cooldown for a Death Knight, if I'm doing a key with them, a Mythic Plus key, then I would click that. For me personally, I really don't care about abomination limb. Yeah, so I try to just keep it super. See, like, I don't know why I'm tracking Pillar Frost. I probably should take that off. But a lot of my stuff I do defensively. So Rune Tap, all of this stuff, I try to keep all of it tracked. I generally try to watch Anti-Magic Cell and Anti-Magic Zone, Dancing Rune Weapon if they're a Blood Death Knight, Icebound Fortitude, Purgatory, which is their Cheat Death, and then Rune Tap, which is, but I don't know if a lot of them take Rune Tap anymore. That used to be a thing, but they might take it. That depends on what build you are. So that's just about Omni CD. Like, you can go and download this on CurseForge or anything like that. So then you'll be able to get it. So it's free. It's nice. Track your cooldowns. Know what your group's doing. And that was number 4. Number 5 is weak auras. So these right here, this is a weak aura, this little earth shield thing I got going on, and this right here is Tidal Waves is tracking that with a weak aura, and then this right here is tracking Professions, and this right here is tracking. So these are all weak auras. These are not part of the game. These are a download that you can download on CurseForge. It's called weak auras. And then you just, if you want some weak auras like this, my thought process on weak auras, I'll go to the website really quick for you to show you, but basically my thought process is for things that I forget and or don't want to mentally track, I try to get a weak aura to replace it. So, for example, this is a raid ability timeline. This is all of my DBM and stuff is integrated into here. So the boss is casting Howling Shrill, whatever, for an example. That's in 5 seconds. It will come down as the question mark icon, 1, 2, 3, 4, And then once it reaches the bottom, that's when you know it's about to happen or happening. So I like that because it's a lot more digestible. But that's just to say that weak auras can be used kind of like to assist you in different things that you want, especially data-driven decisions that you have to make in the moment. So weak auras is super good for that. Like for example, I have targeted spells, so it lets me know for season 1 of the War Within when somebody's getting targeted with a cast, so I can either put priority healing on them, try to interrupt the cast. If it's gonna go off, we have to figure out a way to deal with it. They have to pop a defensive, anything like that. So that's good to know. And where you find weak auras is over here. Get this up here. And then you go to wago.io. I just have Prayer of Mending open here because for my priest, I do not want to track Prayer of Mending. So that is why. That is why. Let's just look for Shaman for an example, because that's what I'm playing right now. And then you'll get all sorts of weak auras. I have it set by date because I kind of like try to keep up with this stuff. But if you're just getting in for the first time, I think Star will do. Like this is an example of a nice Luxthos weak aura pack. I don't use those. You can. A lot of people do, and they're better than me. Some are, some aren't. So it's all personal preference. Doesn't really matter. Whatever you want is whatever works for you. So, ooh, that's cool. Yeah, all sorts of stuff. You guys will be able to come and look in for a long time here. Like I'm getting lost just kind of looking at them right now. Oh, this is a good one right here. Oh yeah, I like that one. Yeah, but that is about it for weak auras. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.